Welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're going to explore how to make AI smarter, like way smarter.
Yeah, we're talking about giving AI a serious brainpower boost,
And we're diving into something called ontologies.
which, to put it simply, are like blueprints for AI knowledge.
Blueprints, okay, interesting.
Yeah, you know how traditional AI can be kind of a black box?
Like, we don't really know how it makes decisions, just kind of spits out an answer.
Exactly, but ontologies offer a way to peek inside that box and understand AI reasoning.
Okay, that makes sense, especially when AI is making big decisions, like medical diagnoses or in finance.
Right, exactly, where you really need to understand that why behind the AI's choice.
So ontologies, they help make AI more transparent, but how do they actually work?
Well, it's all about giving AI a structured way to represent knowledge, like a map of how concepts connect to each other.
So instead of just knowing a bunch of words, AI can actually understand the relationships between those words.
You're right. It's like teaching AI to understand the world, not just memorize a dictionary.
So it's not just about knowing the word cat, but also understanding how it's different from dog and how both are pets.
Precisely. Ontologies help AI grasp those bigger picture connections, kind of like how we humans think.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this can make AI much smarter. But we've got to talk about the rock stars of AI, the LLMs.
Oh, yeah. Large language models, they're the ones making headlines with their impressive abilities.
They can write poems, translate languages, hold conversations. It's kind of freaky how human-like they're getting.
Definitely impressive. And ontologies play a key role in taking LLMs to the next level.
So it's not just about LLMs having a vast vocabulary. It's about them understanding the meaning behind those words.
Exactly. Ontologies give LLMs the context they need to go beyond just generating text. They start to reason, infer, and even learn.
That's a big deal because it's moving AI closer to how we humans think, making connections, understanding implications.
Right. It's about moving from surface level understanding to something deeper, more meaningful.
Okay, this is blowing my mind already, but let's get a bit more specific. What about AI designed for a specific job?
You're talking about vertical AI agents.
Like an AI lawyer or an AI doctor, something like that.
Yeah, these specialized AIs leverage ontologies to become experts in their field, whether it's law, medicine, finance, you name it.
So they have this deep knowledge base that allows them to make really specific and informed decisions.
Absolutely. Think of it like giving an AI lawyer access to an entire law library, not just a legal dictionary.
Wow, that's powerful. So it's not just about knowing legal terms, but understanding how they all connect, like a complex web of knowledge.
Right. That's the beauty of ontologies. They enable AI to truly understand the nuances and intricacies of a specific domain.
So this AI lawyer could analyze a contract, understanding not just the words, but the legal precedents and implications behind them.
Exactly. And that kind of deep understanding is what sets vertical AI agents apart. It's how they make a real difference in their fields.
This is really exciting stuff, but I'm curious, who actually creates these ontologies? It sounds like a massive undertaking.
Well, it used to be a very manual process, experts painstakingly defining every concept and relationship.
Sounds tedious, like building a giant encyclopedia by hand.
It was, but now with the advancements in AI, we're seeing a shift.
You mean AI is helping to build its own ontologies? That sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It might, but it's becoming a reality. LLMs like GPT-3, they're incredibly good at understanding and processing language.
So they can analyze tons of text and automatically extract knowledge, kind of like building an ontology on the fly.
Exactly. It's a game changer because it speeds up the process and makes it possible to create much larger and more comprehensive ontologies.
Wow, so we're basically teaching AI to teach itself. That's pretty incredible.
It is, but even with these advancements, there are still challenges when it comes to ontologies.
Like what? What makes working with ontologies so tricky?
Well, imagine trying to create a map that covers every city in the world. It's a huge and complex undertaking.
And constantly changing, like new roads and buildings popping up all the time.
Exactly. Ontologies face similar challenges. They can get incredibly large and difficult to manage, especially as knowledge evolves.
It's like trying to keep Wikipedia up to date, a never-ending task.
It can feel that way sometimes, but it's a challenge worth tackling because the potential benefits of ontologies are enormous.
Okay, I'm definitely seeing both the power and the complexity of ontologies. It's like we're building the foundation for truly intelligent AI.
That's a great way to put it. And now that we have a grasp of the basics, I think it's time to delve deeper into some of the exciting advancements happening in this field.
I'm ready to dive deeper. Let's explore what the future holds for ontologies and how they're pushing the boundaries of AI even further.
It's pretty amazing how these ontologies, right, they're not just making AI smarter, but they're actually kind of changing how different AI systems can work together.
Oh, that's interesting. So you're saying like getting different AIs to actually talk to each other, share knowledge? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like, think of it this way. A lot of AI systems right now, they're like these isolated islands, each with their own little bit of knowledge.
Like working in silos, not really collaborating.
Yeah, exactly. But with ontologies, it's like we can start building bridges between these islands.
Okay, I like that analogy. So instead of each AI working alone,
Uh,
they can tap into this much larger pool of knowledge, learn from each other.
exactly. And it's all because ontologists provide this common language that different AI systems can understand. It's like a universal translator for the AI world.
That makes a lot of sense, but how does this actually work in practice? Like, can you give me an example of this AI collaboration thing?
Sure, let's imagine a future where you have a smart home powered by AI.
Okay, so like different AI systems controlling things like the lights, the thermostat, the security system, all that.
Right, exactly. Each one kind of specialized for its own task.
Like little AI agents, each with their own expertise.
Yeah, perfect. Now, let's say you tell your smart home AI, hey, I'm going on vacation.
Okay, so what happens then?
Well, with the help of ontologies, all those different AI systems in your house, they can actually understand what vacation means.
Oh, I see. So the lights would know to turn on and off at certain times, make it look like someone's home. The thermostat would adjust to save energy.
Yeah, and the security system would go into high alert, all because they share this common understanding of vacation thanks to the ontology.
That's pretty cool. So it's not just about each AI doing its own thing. It's about them working together seamlessly to achieve a bigger goal.
Exactly, and that's where ontologies really shine. They take us from isolated AIs to this interconnected intelligence system.
Okay, this is really fascinating, but we've also talked about how ontologies help AI reason more like humans. Can you break down what that actually means?
Sure, so one of the key things about human reasoning is context, right? We don't just process information in isolation, we think about the bigger picture.
Like how different things relate to each other, the situation, all that.
Exactly, and ontologies help AI do the same. They provide that context.
So it's not just about knowing facts, it's about understanding how those facts fit into a specific situation, right?
Exactly. Let's say you have an AI assistant that helps you schedule appointments.
Okay, I use one of those all the time.
So if you tell it, book me a meeting for tomorrow, the AI needs to understand a lot of things that you didn't actually say.
Like who the meeting is with, what time works for me, what my schedule already looks like, all that unspoken stuff.
Exactly, and that's where the ontology comes in. It helps the AI access and process all that information so it can actually book the right meeting at the right time.
So it's like ontologies give AI a form of common sense, understanding those unspoken assumptions that we humans make.
That's a great way to put it. And this ability to understand context, it's crucial for AI to be truly helpful and reliable in our lives.
This has been super insightful, but you mentioned earlier that building these ontologies, it can be quite challenging. I'm curious to learn more about what makes it so tricky.
Well, one of the biggest challenges is just the sheer scale of information, Ontologies, especially for complex fields, they can be absolutely massive.
Yeah, it's like trying to create a map of the entire internet. It's mind-boggling.
It is. And then there's the issue of keeping them up to date, The world's constantly changing. New information is always emerging.
Right, especially in fields like science and technology, where new discoveries are happening all the time.
Exactly. It's a constant process of refining and updating these ontologies. But despite the challenges, researchers are always working on new methods and tools to make it more efficient.
It sounds like a really dynamic field, but let's shift gears a bit. We've talked a lot about the technical side, but I'm curious to explore how ontologies are actually impacting different industries, how they're being used in the real world.
Oh, that's a great question. And it leads us into some really exciting territory, Ontologies are no longer just this theoretical concept. They're being applied in a wide range of fields to solve real-world problems.
So they're moving from the lab into the real world. That's exciting. Let's dive into those real-world applications then. How are ontologies changing the game in areas like healthcare, finance, even education? So we've talked about how ontologies can make AI, understand the world better, but where are we actually seeing this happen, like in real life?
Oh, think about those fields, right? Where deep knowledge is really, really important, like healthcare, finance, even education.
Yeah.
Ontologies are making AI like super useful in these areas by powering what we call vertical AI agents.
Right. We talked about those a bit earlier. They're like the specialists, right? Like instead of just a general AI, it's one that's been trained for a specific field.
Yeah, exactly. And the key to their expertise is the ontology they're built on. It's what allows them to really understand the nuances of that specific domain, and make really informed decisions.
Okay, I need a concrete example.
Sure.
How about healthcare? What could an AI doctor powered by ontologies, like what could it actually do?
Well, imagine an AI, right, that can help doctors diagnose diseases more accurately.
Okay.
By combining a patient's symptoms, their medical history, maybe even their genetic information with this massive medical ontology, this AI could potentially identify diagnoses that a human doctor might miss.
Wow. That's incredible.
Right.
It's like having an AI detective working alongside the doctor,
That's a great analogy.
sifting through all those clues and like connecting the dots.
Exactly. And it's not just about diagnosing diseases. This AI could also, suggest personalized treatment plans
Oh, what?
based on the latest research and the patient's individual needs.
So it's not replacing doctors, it's more like giving them this super powerful tool to do their jobs even better.
Exactly. It's about augmenting their abilities
Yeah.
and, ultimately improving patient care.
That's amazing. And what about other fields? Like you mentioned finance. How are ontologies being used there?
Well, in finance, we're seeing ontologies used to fight fraud, for example. AI systems can analyze transactions looking for patterns that might indicate suspicious activity. And the ontology, right, it gives them the knowledge to understand all these complex financial regulations and identify those potential red flags.
It's like having the AI watchdog constantly monitoring the system, making sure everything's on the up and up.
Exactly. And these are just a couple examples. We're seeing these vertical AI agents pop up in so many different industries.
Wow.
From education, where they can personalize learning experiences for each student,
That's cool.
to manufacturing, where they can optimize production processes, prevent errors. It's really remarkable.
It really does sound like ontologies are kind of unlocking this whole new level of AI capability. But even with all this, I imagine there are still challenges, things we need to be mindful of as we go forward.
Oh, absolutely. You're right. Like any powerful tool, ontologies need to be developed and used responsibly. I think one of the biggest challenges is making sure that the information that's in these ontologies is accurate and unbiased.
Right, because if it's built with like bad information or incomplete information, then the AI is going to make bad decisions.
Exactly. It could even perpetuate existing biases, which is something we definitely want to avoid.
So it's not just about building these ontologies, it's about building them the right way, making sure they're representing, a diverse range of perspectives.
Absolutely. And making sure they're constantly updated as new knowledge emerges. It's a big responsibility, but it's also incredibly exciting.
It really is. It's like we're shaping the knowledge foundations for a whole new generation of these intelligent machines.
That's a great way to put it.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of ontologies, what's the one thing you want listeners to walk away with?
I think the key takeaway is this. Ontologies, they're not just some technical detail. They're really a fundamental building block for creating truly intelligent AI. By giving AI this deeper understanding of the world, right, we're opening up possibilities that we could only dream of before.
It's definitely an exciting time to be following all of this, and I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of what ontologies are going to enable us to achieve.
I think so too.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into ontologies and for sharing your insights. It's been fascinating.
My pleasure. It was great to be here.
And to our listeners, keep exploring the world of knowledge and stay curious about the incredible potential of AI.